Yeah, we also have at the front, up at the front here, the issue forms, meaning if you have any individual issues regarding your child's program, your child's IEP, anything to do with, hopefully not transportation at this stage of the school year, but any issues that pertain to your individual child, your child's individual program that you need someone in the Office of Special Education to work directly with you on. We have the forms out here for you to fill out, because when we do presentations, we ask people to limit their questions to more general issues and not get into individual family issues. It also provides us with sort of a tracking system that we have paperwork. We can forward that to BPS. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to talk to people and take effective notes, and as hard as I try, it doesn't always work out. So the forms are a really good way to capture the information and then provide it to BPS for follow-through. We have any other
No other handouts, but we've got a very good response from the Where's My Bus application that Carl Allen presented last time. It's close to about 50 people have applied for it and received the ID and password. What that basically allows you to do is track your bus morning or afternoon, and it can be a lifesaver if you're trying to explain to a child what's happening. The other option is that Comcast Internet Special for students on free or reduced lunch is still available. It's on our website as well. I'm going to try to put it in all our emails so that it goes out. If you want to click on it, you can do that or call the 800 number. But that will allow you guys to get, I think it's $9.95 a month for a student to have internet access in the house. So that can help out with a lot of issues, depending on costs. Okay?
Okay, the other announcement I want to let everybody know is that at our next general meeting, which is May 23rd, we're going to be having our annual elections for the SpedPac board. We would encourage as many people that are interested to consider running. We have the positions of chair and secretary up for re-election, the vice chair and the treasurer is for 2 years, and then the executive board. We currently have 10 members of the executive board. Everybody on SpedPac is a parent of a child with a disability, a parent or a guardian, and we're all volunteers. We all work together to try to make improvements in BPS regarding special education, working directly with the superintendent and the Office of Special Education with John Beer to try to make improvements to programs and obviously children's individual programs. So next month is the election. Even if you choose not to run, if you could please come and participate in the election process, that's important as well. And, you know, consider doing it. It's not, we have an executive board meeting and a general meeting once a month, so that's 2 meetings. John and I have been going to mostly all of the school committee meetings to represent SpedPac there, and then we do have frequent meetings with the administration as well. John and I are both on this, as well as some other board members, are on the steering committee on the issue of inclusion. An inclusion strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years is being developed, and it needs to be submitted to the school committee by June of 2013. And for September 2013, there's going to be 2 full inclusion schools in BPS, in addition to the ones that we already have. But obviously, increasing inclusion throughout the district is an important priority for us because currently 46% of children with disabilities are being educated in substantially separate classrooms, and the number is just way too high. It's unprecedented, you know, most elsewhere. And we need to work on providing more inclusion opportunities and more full inclusion programs, and that obviously depends on each child's individual needs on what's appropriate for them. I also was asked to participate. There was an external advisory committee that worked on the whole issue of assignment, and through that there was a special education overlay that divides the district into clusters for special education, but we were able to get a lot of concrete obligations and commitments from the district regarding special education, which is to bring the services to the children and not the children to the services. That's going to require some relocating of some programs, but the SPED overlay doesn't go into effect until September of 2014. But there's a lot of work that has to be done between now and then in order for that to happen successfully. And obviously parent engagement in this process is very important. And after the external advisory committee, I was just asked to participate on another committee, which is called the Quality Working Group. So it's really to follow the assignment process to make sure the recommendations of that committee are implemented, and that what happens is quality work. We want to make sure that obviously services that are being delivered are meaningful, that we don't want programs called inclusion by name, but they don't offer meaningful inclusion opportunities. But that's another commitment that we have. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I spend typically 3 to 4 days a week at night at meetings with BPS. You know, some weeks are worse than others, but it's a huge time commitment. And obviously sharing that commitment with others would be most helpful in sort of sustaining us in our positions, because it's good to have them see other faces too, you know, faces of other parents, to know that you're committed and that you want to work with the district, and so that we can present a unified front as a group on what we need for our children and what it is that our expectations are for the district to deliver on those. So the election is next, at the next meeting on May 23rd. Please consider running. If you don't want to consider running, please come and participate in the election process. If anybody has any specific questions about the role of the SpedPac board, on our website is a copy of our bylaws that talks about our mission and our process and sort of generally how we work. I mean, it's not as stringent as a job, because first of all, we don't get paid. We're volunteers, but we all have our other respective responsibilities with regard to family and work. And so it really does take a lot of people working together to sort of make that workload more manageable for people that are on the board. And even if you don't choose to run, you can still volunteer to help in whatever way that you feel is appropriate and possible for you to do, given your own individual commitments and challenges with your family and work, because all of ours vary in that regard. So I just wanted to make that announcement. I don't know if the rest of you have heard this, but yesterday our superintendent announced that she's going to be retiring at the end of the school year. I think she'll be leaving probably in July of 2013, but obviously that also represents a significant change to us with regard to the administration and their leadership. Superintendent Johnson has partnered with SpedPac. She's met with us regularly. I can't tell you how many times she's called me on a Saturday or on an evening to follow up on a particular issue. And, you know, we obviously value that partnership, and we are grateful for the commitment that she's given to special education and directing her administration to work with us on these issues. If the leader was not directing this, things just wouldn't happen. So we're obviously going to be going through a transition period when she departs, but our goal would be is that the next superintendent would also support special education the way that she has. I think you all know as well that there's close to 20 people, I think, at this point running for mayor, since Mayor Menino is not seeking re-election. So there's a lot of changes that are coming administratively in sort of the city and the school department. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about Superintendent Johnson. John and I did attend the school committee meeting last night. I spoke briefly regarding one particular issue of inclusion, but I also took the opportunity to thank the superintendent for all of her work with us and how much we valued her participation and her partnership with us. So I did that on our behalf. Okay. So moving along to the